Hello, everybody, and welcome back to an all-new episode of the Marvelite podcast. I am your host, Luke, and I am joined, as always, with Will.
What's poppin'?
And we have Fail Whale 34, a.k.a. Michael.
What is going on, guys?
And we have DC Luke here with us this week.
Hey, guys.
And last, we have Nick.
What's poppin', Fanboy Nation? We got a hot show ready for you guys today.
Yeah, we got them scoops.
Yeah.
No lie.
Broski.
No lie. We got so many scoops this week. It's unbelievable. So first up on our list, so Fox released some new X-Men Apocalypse posters. We kind of see like a shot of, like Jean Grey and James McAvoy as the professor himself, bald head and all, and then we have not Mystique up front. How do you guys?
Hey, that lady has a name.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence up front.
It's Raven, isn't it? That's so Raven.
Yeah,
it's Jennifer Lawrence.
So how do you guys feel about these posters? I mean, you guys know that I have spoken out pretty negatively about these Fox movies. I don't like these suits at all. It feels like they're really reverting back to like those early 2000 X-Men suits. I personally just don't care for them. Like, how do you feel about it, Will?
It's the same shit that we've seen since 1999. So, except for First Class, where they made it a little different.
Yeah, and in
like
Deadpool.
You see Deadpool, it's like, hey, look, a step in the right direction. Then 2 steps left from the right direction. Then it fell down a flight of stairs back from where it started.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, just looking at the main poster with McAvoy bald. I mean, she looks like a Barbie in the front cover. Medusa from the Inhumans is there, like Sansa. It's just the whole look. They look like the Power Rangers villains. I don't know.
They really do, actually.
I'm not a fan of it.
So you're not a very big fan of it, Luke?
They're not great. They're pretty. They look like they're made out of Mega Blocks, actually.
Oh, the villains poster, dude. Like Archangel.
Oh, he looks like Mega Blocks, but like the villains themselves look alright. Like Psylocke looks cool, Magneto looks cool, Apocalypse still looks like garbage, but
I have to say, I really do love Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, me too.
He's just such a gift to Hollywood. It's an incredible thing when we get to see him on screen. However, I don't think that this role was right for him.
Neither do I.
I just don't. I don't like anything about this Apocalypse. Now we could somewhere in the movie see him sort of transition and morph into his more comic book looking self. I personally don't think that they're going to go that route. I think he's just going to look exactly like he is, unfortunately. I don't like the black suits again. They look too, I don't know, they look weird. I don't care for them. Psylocke does look cool. Another big problem I think that I have is Mystique. She's like not being Mystique, she's just being Jennifer Lawrence, and I think a big portion of that is because Jennifer Lawrence just didn't want to be Mystique. After the first movie, like they're kind of all trying to get out of these contracts.
Dude, but that was her whole character though in the first movie. Remember, Mutant and Proud. Yeah,
and they were like, they were actually developing the character, and then now she's like barely Mystique at all.
It's because, man, it takes long to put that makeup on. She doesn't have the energy to do that.
I don't got time for all this blue.
All this blue shit.
Yeah, I know. It's really sad, actually, because especially when you see what Tim Miller has done with Deadpool, and he's not afraid to embrace the X-Men for what they truly are. But I just think that Bryan Singer, I think his time is up. Some people think that he should just continue to do these movies because some people really love these movies, and really? I can't blame them for loving them, but they're personally not for me, especially with like the plot holes that I find in every one of these movies. They just keep digging a deeper hole, and I don't care for them. But anyways, let's move on before I get mad.
We barely been talking about this.
Before we
For
have another one of those patented hybrid Luke X.
it's only been like 2
Oh,
minutes though.
No, you know what thought just came into my mind. The Heroes poster, they all kind of look like the Atom on Arrow.
A little bit.
Yeah, actually.
They kind of do.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, why don't they
damn.
have their yellow suits? Like, I mean,
I don't get it.
well,
It's not.
I don't know either.
It's
spoilers.
not a part of his vision.
There's not even an X on their fucking shirts.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, on their thing.
I mean, when there was a Comic-Con a couple years ago, and someone in the crowd asked Bryan Singer if he was going to do Wolverine with the mask, and he's just said, like, simply, that's not my vision for the character. And I'm like, well, your vision kind of sucks. I'm sorry,
yeah,
but
this
that's
is
just
all
my
the
opinion.
Singerverse.
Yeah, and like, well, what's so great about that actually is Ryan Reynolds has kind of told Fox and Singer that they can go screw themselves with their timelines.
Yeah, because he's in a pocket universe now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's
It's like
that's
a
kind of
traveling
what
pocket universe too.
that's what Ryan Reynolds kind of said. I mean, he kind of inferred it, you know, like, hey, this is my universe now, and when anyone from the X-Men joins my movies, they do so at their own peril. So, you know, if they're having continuity trouble down the road with these other movies, like the other X-Men films, that's on them for not putting it in continuity with Deadpool. Like, he said, like, this is my own continuity. So I have to really, really respect him for that.
Yeah.
You know, he's not backing down. He's sticking to his guns. That's awesome. So
Dude,
good.
also,
It's great.
there was a helicarrier and Bob in the Deadpool universe, so...
Yeah. Again, the writers they didn't back down, man. They really
Yeah,
they
it's
really
Bob.
laid out their big cojones on the table and said, "Look at these, Fox. Look at these."
It's like my chimichanga.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
moving on.
So-
yeah.
So moving on to another Marvel universe.
This is a separate universe.
This is a separate universe.
Some sort of
Sony-
alternate universe.
Sony has decided that they are going to revive the Venom solo spin-off movie, which apparently will not be connected to the MCU, and
Oh,
will
Go ahead.
probably cast a new Spider-Man to be featured in that movie, separate from Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man. Michael, what do you have to say about that?
Oh my gosh. Like, you'd think they would learn after the emails went through and everything just fell apart the first time round, but no. You know what, I'll be down to see a new Venom, like, that's done properly, but, like, if they're gonna have a new Spider-Man, like, we just got one today, guys. Like, don't seriously.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, exactly,
yeah, that's
man.
true. Yeah.
It's,
Oh my
I
god.
do not buy
happened?
that at all, man.
I know. Nick, what
No.
do you think?
I think this movie has hot mess written all over it. I mean,
Yeah.
the fact that they announced that Avi Arad and Matt Tolmach are producing it, and it has like nothing to do with Kevin Feige
incredible.
or like Marvel proper. It's just, I don't know. It just seems like this could be a disaster. Yeah.
An amazing Spider-Man.
You know what I
2
think it is?
disaster.
I think it was Avi Arad and Matt Tolmach, like, just went up to Tom Rothman's office and just begged him to keep them on as producers and let them create their content that they want to create. I don't know why they're so salty towards Kevin Feige and the rest of Marvel that they can't just get along with them. They have to do their own thing. They don't want to be a part of, you know, the MCU for some reason. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. You know, especially when
Avi Arad, like a whack job.
well, Avi Arad helped build the MCU. He's part of the reason why Iron Man happened in 2008. I don't get it. There was such a massive falling out with him and Kevin Feige and the rest of the folks at Marvel Studios. He, like, to this day, almost 10 years later, he's still salty about it. Still. I don't understand it. Will, what did you have to say?
I mean, because we were talking about it earlier, it's like the Venom movie that everyone clearly asked
Oh,
for.
yeah.
We were talking. It's like, well, if they want to be super ballsy, they could do Miles' encounter with Venom. You could do it, but you would twist the fuck out of Miles like origin story.
Yeah.
There was
Like, if you said it in, like, 2026 or something, where Peter's an adult and there's a kid Miles, and they just don't bring... Hey, what happened? Have you met this dude named Peter? Oh, yeah, I took the mantle after Spider-Man died. Would people be pissed? Yes, but then they'd have to go read a fucking book. So you could do it, and you'd skew up a lot of things, but it's possible. It just probably won't be good. Or they could just bring back Andrew Garfield.
That would be so
That's not
funny.
happening.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, no, we talked about it. Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah,
That's
what
not
if
happening.
what if this movie was part of the TASM-verse, the Venom film?
That would be funny.
Well,
I'd throw my shit at the screen.
if they wanted to bring back that continuity, they could do so. Okay, I mean they could. However, they're not going to do that with Andrew Garfield. There's just no way. For anybody who doesn't know, Andrew Garfield really upset the folks over at Sony Japan. And
What?
these are okay, this is Japanese culture we're talking about. When you insult them on the level that he insulted them, they take that very, very personally. It was extremely dishonorable what he did. They were happy to fire him. Like, they were happy. He is not coming back. I
what did he
would
do?
be extremely shocked if he came back. You know what? You know what he did? There was a big Sony event happening. I don't know where it was at. I think it was New York somewhere. But there was like this big dinner, right? And all of the executives from Sony America and Sony Japan were there. I mean, these guys flew halfway around the world to come to this. And so Andrew Garfield was invited as like the main guest for that night. Okay? And they were all going to talk Spider-Man and, you know, the future of that franchise. Well, Andrew, for some reason, decided that he didn't want to show up. So 30 minutes before the dinner, when they're all just kind of standing around waiting for him to show up, he texted Amy Pascal, texted her, and said, yeah, I'm not coming. And just doesn't show at all. When he's, like, contractually obligated to go to those kind of things.
Damn.
So, I mean, you know,
Yikes.
it's very
I
dishonorable.
didn't like your movie. Now I don't like you. I'm just...
And, you know,
Hashtag oop fuck.
I think that was a big reason why he didn't want to show, is because he was upset about the movie. You know, there was a lot of studio meddling with that movie. It's like, it was Spider-Man 3 all over again with that movie.
Yeah.
tried really hard not to.
Yeah, just not very good things happen. I'm going to give my opinion really quick, though, about this Venom spin-off. I think it's a really dumb idea. Like, what are they thinking? Seriously, you can't just expect that to work. Seriously, even if you brought back people like, Drew Goddard, who's really good writer. He's a really good writer. You know, he created the Daredevil Netflix show. It's really good, but even if you brought him in, I mean, you know, when his script for the Sinister Six leaked online, which was verified to be real after a while, it was shit.
Yeah, wasn't he developing that? Like, he was gonna direct it or something, and like...
Yeah, he left Marvel to go to Sony to develop the Marvel Sony stuff. And it just... because Sony threw him like a truckload of money, and said, here, we'll pay you better. Come work for us.
We'll pay you better.
Yeah, it's just... It was just crap. Like, the universe and franchise that they were setting up was absolute and utter crap. Seriously. I think that Spider-Man works best when he is mingling and interacting with the rest of the Marvel Universe. There is no reason for him to be by himself in his own movie every single time. Like, with no connections to the larger Marvel Universe. That makes no sense. He's sometimes, actually, some of his best moments are not even in his own books. They are in other comics, okay? With other characters, and Spider-Man is just featured there. And sometimes he'll only show up for a couple panels, but he'll steal the scene. Sometimes that's how he works best, I think. And to keep him isolated from the rest of the Marvel Universe is a big thing for me. It's a bad idea. So developing a spin-off movie for Venom, I don't think, honestly, Venom couldn't hold his own. I don't think the numbers financially just wouldn't add up unless maybe the only way I could see it working is if they develop that movie for super cheap. I'm talking Deadpool numbers cheap.
Yeah, they do rated R
Okay.
too. Venom.
Yeah.
Dude, Carnage rated R, Venom. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what this
There'll
also.
be some broke motherfuckers over at Sony.
It's okay. Okay, guys, it's okay if they want to do a Venom movie. Don't have it like isolated though. You have to connect that stuff. There has to be those little connective tissues to the larger Marvel universe. Because if they create a Venom movie that is either in its own pocket verse separate from the MCU, or if it's back in the TASM continuity, it's not going to hold up. It won't. Especially the confusion that will come along, and not only confusion, but anger to the fans, like me, for example, is if you cast an all-new Spider-Man to be in that movie. That's not connected to the MCU. That literally makes no sense. It is literally 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It makes no sense. I'm getting frustrated.
Dude,
Next topic.
Dude,
Let's move along.
Slow it down.
dude, but that's the bad part of the Spider-Man Marvel deal is that Sony still has the rights to make Spider-Man universe spin-off movies like Sinister Six and all that.
Yeah, and see...
Yeah, because those are all movies that people asked for.
Look, I get that Feige really wanted to make this deal. They needed Spider-Man to be in this universe. I think the fans demanded it, and Feige demanded it. But it had to come in a compromise, and that compromise was Sony still holds final say over everything, and that's, I think, what's most upsetting and frustrating about this. I want them to have total control over not only Spider-Man, but all the characters that he's involved with. Because from the sounds of it, Marvel can only literally use Peter and Aunt May is what it sounds like, or maybe some side characters here and there.
Because
It doesn't sound like. So you're telling me they couldn't use any of the Sinister Six villains? They can't use Venom. They can't use Carnage. So symbiotes are out of the question altogether. What?
Yeah, because it would be
kind
so
of
cool
Spider-Man
to see on the Netflix series to see Black Cat
Oh,
or
absolutely.
Scorpion or
like
something.
Mysterio or something.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How amazing would it be in this season of Luke Cage coming up if we got to meet Dr. Connors through that?
That would
You know
be
what I
cool,
mean?
Yeah.
How awesome would that
Dude,
be?
but he's
But,
tied
you know,
up
that
in the
wouldn't happen,
Sonyverse.
Exactly. He's tied up in the Sonyverse.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate, and it makes the fanboy inside of me hurt. It makes me hurt, and I really hope that folks from Marvel and Sony can hear this out, because this is we're all fans of this stuff. This is all material that most of us grew up with, that we grew up loving.
That's like Fant Four
Okay,
Stick,
and
dude.
It just
Yeah.
it
reeks.
really hurts us when we cannot have these characters interact with each other on screen and mingle together. It breaks my heart.
We can't have
as a fan.
Annihilus or Galactus or Silver Surfer or Doctor
No,
Doom
or any of the heralds. You can't do Blastar. You can't do the Badoon. You
Yeah.
can't do the Shi'ar. You can't do
Too many.
freaking anything. I mean, you can do the Sarkarans, which James Gunn wanted to originally have the Shi'ar Empire featured as the soldiers and Guardians of the Galaxy, but no, he couldn't. So he had to go with the
They
Sarkarans.
can't do Kang either.
No, they can't do Kang the Conqueror. And Kang is a formidable foe. He's extremely formidable.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's he's most well known as
they
an
don't have-
Avengers villain too. So
they don't have half the cosmic energies. They can't do the Watchers either. I mean, seriously, what kind of shit is that?
Is Watcher over at
it's a
Fox?
shame.
Dude, they're gonna sit on Fantastic Four until they reboot it again.
Yeah.
that is worst case scenario, but it's probably the realistic scenario as well.
Well, if they do the same thing as Sony did with Marvel, where they share the Fox thing, we're still kind of in the same boat then, aren't we? Because again, Fox will have full creative control, and we get another scenario where we're gonna have a Super Skrull spin-off in a completely different universe with an all-new Fantastic Four, separate from the MCU.
Yep. It just it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's all Avi Rad's fault.
Kind of is.
Yeah, because he's the one that sold the rights to the X-Men and the Spider-Man and all that, because he was working at Marvel or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, in a hindsight, it was like a shite decision.
Yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, like, if Arad wouldn't have fallen out with Marvel and just stuck with them, I mean, where we could be right now in the cinematic universe, I think that they could have achieved so much more with Fox and Sony over the years.
Right.
You know, and
honestly, they could have a film monopoly if they all just worked together. They would dust the shit out of Warner Brothers if the three of them could really work together.
Not even that, dude. They would just dust the shit out of everyone. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think WB is building something incredible as well. But it's really hard to compare in that aspect because Marvel has been doing this for longer. So they've had more of a game plan, you know, like DC is just starting out. I want DC to take their time. You know, as where Marvel, they've already been doing it, so they've had the time to build these stories up. But DC just we need to be patient with them and let them do their thing, and they're going to knock out some great stuff. You know?
Yeah.
But anyways, I 100% agree with you, though, Will. You know, we could be so much farther along. It's so sad and so unfortunate that...
Can't we all just get along?
No, unfortunately not.
Unfortunately, we cannot. Okay, I am done with talking about the sad stuff. Sylvester freaking Stallone is in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Possibly.
boy. Mr. Yo Adrian himself, Rocky himself, guys, is going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He's rumored, I guess, to be playing a Ravager of some kind.
Yeah, that's an El Miami scoop.
That's the Ace of Scoops.
Ace of Scoops. I was actually personally hoping that he would be Ego the Living Planet.
His lip is like kind of just hanging low.
We go to living.
Yo, I kind of hope that he's Star-Lord's dad and he teaches him how to fight. That's what I'm hoping for.
I hope he needs a chance.
Have him just hitting the speed bag like, come on. Come on, son, you gotta hit it fast.
I hope him just talking is like an alien language and they literally have to translate it at the bottom.
Oh my god.
They have the bouncing ball?
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny too is another rumor has it is that he was spotted in a suit similar to Judge Dredd. So, if that's any indication, I'm wondering if Judge Dredd himself isn't going to make a cameo in the movie. What if there's another scene in the Collector's Vault and it's just Judge Dredd in there?
Dude, they're going to cross over with 2000 AD comics.
That would be amazing.
No, but he's probably like a Nova Corps person then, if that's the case.
Yeah, I think even James Gunn has teased a little bit about time travel in the movie. But I don't know, because time travel... I personally don't like time travel because it gets wonky really quickly. It's like, the reason why Days of Future Past didn't work for me is because they don't know how to tell a story when it involves time travel. Like, it didn't make any sense in Days of Future Past, but that's obviously that's for another time. But I don't know. I would be up for them doing time travel in Guardians of the Galaxy if they could do it right. They have to explain time travel and how it works right, though, too. Because if they don't, like, they did a horrible job of doing that in other movies. They really do.
No,
they don't do a very good job.
I'd buy Stallone being in Guardians of the Galaxy too. You know, more acting for him before he gets like really old and decrepit. But
yeah,
and it's Guardians of the Galaxy, like Stallone to Marvel. Like, why not? Let's get it on.
Yeah. I feel the same way. How do you feel, Will?
For having Stallone, I'd certainly be curious as to what he could do. It's not like he's a bad actor because he was really good in Creed. I guess it's kind of like, where's that Michael B. Jordan cameo going to be? But if he's playing Star-Lord's dad, that will probably be funnier than any joke that James Gunn could write for that movie. But hey, if they got him for it, clearly they saw something in him. So I trust Marvel. I trust regular Marvel. I'm sure they have a plan for it.
Yeah, absolutely. But still, they can't use any of those characters that we named off earlier. So yeah, do you guys have any more thoughts on Sylvester Stallone being in this movie?
It'd be hyped.
Hype, yeah. That's really all I got to say about it. Okay, moving on to our final topic of this episode. Captain America: Civil War trailer number 2 dropped just earlier today. and we got our very first official look at Peter Parker, Spider-Man himself.
Spoderman.
Today,
Or as Tony called him,
today
Underoos.
is
Spider-Man.
Thursday when we're recording.
Yeah. Well, we were going to record earlier, Nick, but, things...
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. But anyways, so, what did you guys think? How did you feel, Will?
How did I feel?
Yeah, how did
I
you
will
feel?
tell you how I felt, sir. I will also leave a comment under this video with a link to how I felt about it.
You'll also
I
have a
lost my
description of the
shit.
shirt that was ripped.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, guys. Will and Michael, if you guys want to plug in your reaction videos, go for it.
What?
I will. I will. I'll plug it for Michael and myself because our reactions were hilarious. I don't know about the rest of you, but actually, I think I put up one of the first reactions to it. Not to be that asshole, but to be that asshole. Because I got in at 12:01, and I watched from a meeting I had. I immediately turned on my camera and started recording. And since I don't really edit the footage from my phone, it went directly up, and it was up by like 12:04.
Yeah.
But, yeah, okay, because I guess we'll get to it when we, as we discuss the trailer and everything, about which one we prefer between the second one and the first one. Had it not been, like, even this morning when I woke up, I was imagining the theme, but I'm like, nah, they're not going to show Spider-Man. They're not going to show Spider-Man. They showed him, and I had a moment. I finally got to have one of those really big nerd reaction moments where you scream and jump around and shout and shit. I don't think I've ever had that for any other trailer. I may have, like, opened my mouth or gotten surprised, but this is the first thing to make me, like, jump up and say, holy shit.
Don't forget the shirt
where I
ripping.
stripped.
And strip.
Yeah. I ripped my shirt off in surprise. Like, that.
Surprise.
So I was pleasantly surprised.
There are two trailers where I have done that. This being one of them, and the newest Batman v Superman trailer. I was at work actually when I saw both of those trailers, and for both trailers, I waited to open up the shop that I work at just so I can sit down and watch these trailers before I open the shop. So I'm sorry if my boss is listening. I opened the shop late those days.
Get the text message. You're fired.
Sorry, boss. But anyways, okay, like, going to the topic we were talking about before we were recording, which trailer did we like better? I personally like the first trailer better, like, minus the inclusion of Spider-Man being in the second one. If Spider-Man wasn't in the second one, it's definitely the first one. I don't know. I feel like there was elements of this trailer where I felt like it kind of fell flat a little bit for me. The beginning was great. It just, I don't know, some of the scenes went a little stale toward the end of it. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to like the movie, because I've seen movies that are terrific with horrible trailers. And I've seen movies like La Green Lantern, who had amazing trailers, but the movie was just utter dog crap. So, I mean, you just never know with trailers, honestly. It's really hard to judge them. However, I'm hype. I'm super hype. I mean, this trailer showed us a lot more. I mean, the Black Panther suit is bulletproof, confirmed. Now, my big
armor.
question is that because it's vibranium?
Yep.
Or is that
Probably.
because there's mysticism with the suit involved?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Interesting,
Ooh,
actually.
Luke's asking the smart people question.
Getting
I
to
think
some
now that you
Panther
mention
God
it, I want to
bullshit.
say the magic voodoo shit.
Magic voodoo bullshit.
You mean the Panther God blessings?
Yeah,
Yes,
because he didn't even get pushed back. Because if it was vibranium, like, it wouldn't just bounce off completely. Like, he would have some kind of like push back to it. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like, even the Hulk, when he's getting shot at, he'll still try to block it, like, with his hand or his arm. Like, Black Panther was just standing there. It was like, that tickles.
He had cheat code. He had
You
cheat
know,
Pokemon.
you know what it was?
The-
It was he is high off his ass off of those special magic spices and herbs.
Oh yeah, the fuck, what was the name of the fruit? The something herb.
It's something. I'm gonna call it the Panther herb.
The
That
Panther
might
herb.
actually be what the name is. But fuck, what was I gonna say? shit, I forgot. Go ahead.
I mean, that's all it had. He's high. That's why he's resisting.
The heart-shaped herb. I just remembered. So one of the comparisons I saw was to when Blade was getting shot at the beginning of the first Blade in the hospital, and they're like, "Motherfucker, do you know who you're shooting at?" He had the same face. He made the same reaction. When Black Panther just turned into a pissed off black guy, like, the fuck are those bullets?
Yeah.
Nick, what was your thoughts on the trailer?
It happens.
Speak your truth, fam.
Speak your truth, brother.
Stick of truth.
Okay, I don't know. I like
truth.
the marketing for this movie is just. I'm not like super hyped from any of it. Like I like the Super Bowl spot actually the most of the three, just because like I don't know, just like the way it was cut together was like the most effective. But the second trailer, like it was good. Like I liked half of it, the first half.
I agree with
like
you.
up until the roadie getting shot part, because then after that it's just kind of like But I don't know. The Spider-Man looks like super overtly CG, like Green Lantern tier, but yeah, I don't know. Spider-Man looks like shit, but, but yeah.
We're gonna get quotes on
Nick,
Twitter.
that
Hashtag
is
Spider-Man
your
looks like
opinion.
shit.
You're in trouble, Nick.
Tom Holland's gonna unfollow us off of Twitter.
No,
Tom Holland's
No, you know what? That's okay. I'm glad that there's someone out there that has a different opinion, and that's okay. You know, that's what makes the free world a great thing, is that we can have our differences and our opinions in things in life. It would be a sad, sad world if everyone just got along and agreed with everything. Do you know how boring and mundane that would be? Our lives are boring enough and mundane enough as it is. So I like it when people stir the pot, and I like it when a whole big group of people said, this is awesome, and then you have a whole other group of people that said, that's complete dog shit. Like, I love it, actually. It's great. So I'm okay with your opinion on that, Nick. Like, I really am.
I mean,
it does not upset me.
So it's fine.
Yeah. It does not upset me that people don't like the suit. I, however, screamed like a little schoolgirl when I saw it. But that it excited me that much, and it brought so much joy to me that I'm like, OMG, it's actually Spider-Man.
Yep.
Like, it feels like Spider-Man, and he's holding Captain America's shield of all things.
That's how I felt when I saw it.
Something 3 years ago we all thought was a pipe dream, and that it would never, ever, ever happen. So to see that today finally happen, I feel like I waited a lifetime to see this. Spider-Man mingling with other characters in the Marvel Universe.
And you know what?
I
have to agree with you there, because once I saw it, him taking Cap shield, holding it, and Iron Man like telling him to come, calling him under ruse, it was hard to believe. It almost felt like it was fake. Like, the trailer was like, after that point, it was just edited by a fan.
It almost did look fake when you looked at it.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of like, wait a minute, like, what's going on here?
In terms of like how bad it looked.
It did look like it. I think the majority of people are in agreement that it looked like purely a CG suit. But when you look at the high-res images, there's so much detail going on. There's no way that that's CG. It doesn't look like CG. I mean, like, maybe the eyes have like, CG enhancements. Maybe. I'm actually hoping that the eyes are just actually animatronic eyes. I'm really hoping
that'd
for that.
be fire, son.
I kind of think they might be. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to tell, because if it is CG, that's really good CG. But I'm hoping it's not. I really just hope it's animatronics.
On this, since we're talking about the Spider-Man suit, did anyone else notice his clunky ass web shooters? And
dude, you mean that must have been a nod to Japanese Spider-Man, because those things were about the same size. Those things were fucking massive.
And if you look at his waist, he has like cartridges. It almost looks like.
Yeah, he's got like little pouches. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so like Alex Ross Ditko suit. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
like how accurate it is.
I'm actually really surprised that they really went all Ditko-y with it. Like, just the eyes themselves, we'd never really seen eyes like that in a Spider-Man movie.
I think
we never had.
No, go ahead.
Well, I mean, like, we never had the big sort of black outlines, and just to being able to see that, the idea that Marvel can do this, and now we're actually getting a really accurate Ditko outfit. Really excites me because that's still, I think, the definitive Spider-Man outfit. Like, Ultimate's cool, but that's Spider-Man, what we saw.
No, dude, TASM 2 suit's better. It has texture to it.
Well, the TASM 2 suit is purely cloth. And what I like about this suit versus the TASM 2 suit, the TASM 2 suit is a great suit, don't get me wrong. But what I like about this suit over that suit is that, like, the webbing isn't overly done. It
doesn't stick out heavy.
It doesn't stick out heavily. It's subtly there. I really, really like that because that's been a problem for me with the Spider-Man suits in every single movie is that the webbing it's too up front. It pops out way too much. And I like this more subtle approach of the webbing, that's like woven into the fabric itself. And looking at the high-res images, like zoomed in, it looks like kind of like this really flexible kind of like mesh of some sort. It doesn't look like cloth like the one from TASM 2 did.
Suit's better than this one though.
Whoa! Don't get crazy there with the sharp eyes.
The last thing I will say about the Spider-Man suit is the practicality of the eyes themselves and what use they have, because I never it surprised me that Spider-Man was going to be in this trailer. It really surprised me that his eyes moved. I never thought that they were it works for Deadpool because, well, it's Deadpool. Deadpool's a campy character. That's his nature. I never thought we would see that in a Spider-Man movie ever. I never thought they would go that route. But not only did they do that, but it looks like they actually, the reason why they move, like they give it a reason and a purpose for them actually moving. So what the main speculation is with the eyes is that the reason why that they get bigger and shorter is they're he uses them like focusing lenses. So like he can focus in on things and see things with precision that other people, like everyday people, can't see.
He can take pictures, so it gives them too, because he's a photographer.
Yeah, that's so cool, dude. And it, like we were talking about before we were recording, it's rumored that he's going to have 2 suits in the movie. One's going to be probably his homemade suit, and another's going to be the Tony Stark enhanced suit. I'm assuming that the one in the trailer is the enhanced suit. I'm almost one. I will put money down.
That's the one he made, like in his house.
He made that in his basement.
I highly doubt.
No, I was kind of with that idea at first.
For all of that.
No, it's not. He doesn't have the technology. He has.
Dude, he's broke.
He has the craftiness. I don't get me wrong. Peter is smart enough to develop this suit himself. However, I think that Tony had some input on it. I really do. I think the first time that we'll see Peter in this movie, he'll be wearing a more rugged outfit, a more homemade kind of like cloth kind of outfit. I think that this is the Stark one. Again,
his wrestling outfit.
It could be him. He could have made this, but I do think this is the Stark enhanced.
How
suit.
funny would it be if he makes a suit and has like really?
I've been wondering for
threads.
years how they're gonna get those eyes. I used to think they were gonna use like nanites to kind of follow his eyes, and they move up and down, kind of like with the big time Spider-Man suit.
I mean,
however you wanted it to.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're mostly just gonna shrink and grow like in one general direction, but I don't know. Well, who knows?
We'll find out in a month.
We'll find out in May.
How funny would it be if his suit has like really big threads on it, like the old Spider-Man suits in the original one, and then Tony's like, it's a little out there.
Luke, what if it is just the Sam Raimi suit, and then Tony's like, that's kind of terrible. Let me design you something new.
That would be hilarious.
What if he's like, that one's better, but we can't use it?
Dude, it's the Raimi.
Fucking ugly.
It's
the
Raimi
better than the Tom Holland one, though.
The Raimi suit.
I like the Tom Holland one. I like the Tom Holland one.
Yeah, the Raimi suit from Spider-Man 1 from 2002 looks better than the current one.
I don't agree, but...
Nah. I'd have to disagree with you.
I understand the reasoning why the suit looked the way it did in 2000. There was a need for it. Because back then, the webbing in the suit actually had to be a certain color, and it actually had to pop out of the suit and be more up front for CGI purposes. Because back then they didn't have the technology that they do now to just CG anything pretty much from nothing. So the webbing had to be designed that way. Like it had to be like that weird silver color, which I didn't like. I understand the need for it back then. It had to be there, strictly for CG purposes.
In a movie.
Out of
I
your
want to get the hobby
mind.
gobby.
Your mind. You can't stop me,
No,
Spider-Man.
No, but really though, I hope Spider-Man looks better. I don't know. Maybe it's just this shot, because in this trailer, the reveal shot of him, he's like on top of a car or something, like against a white background. So maybe that's why he just looks so cartoony and weird. It's just like literally
that
a
might
white
be it.
background behind him.
I do think, Nick, that it will look better by the time the movie rolls around. You know, like they still have, you know, I'm sure that they're still in post, up, like, you know, to some extent. Dude, you know, you would be astounded by how many movies actually are in post up until a few weeks before the movie comes
Yeah,
out.
last
usually,
minute.
but those are like Fant Four Stick type movies though that like are terrible.
That's very, you know what? That's true.
Yeah.
It's not wrong.
Anything else on the trailer, guys, aside from Spider-Man?
But it's okay. We trust Marvel.
Ant-Man wrote an arrow. That's all.
Yo,
I'm
I
gonna say.
lost
That
it.
made me so happy.
Confirmed Pin Particle Arrow
Actually,
by Hawkeye, right?
Yeah. Why is Scarlet Witch killing Vision too?
I don't know. You know,
Well,
they're having a
She's
very
not, man. She's
a very
tying him
different.
down. They're just having kinky sex.
You know what I think
Stay
she
out of
was
their
doing?
business.
You know honestly what I think she was doing right there? I think she was weakening him because he would just annihilate everybody. What like
That's
whatever
very true.
whose side he's on, everyone on that
Yeah.
playing field would be dead. So I think what she did is she literally weakened him to where he would not be that formidable.
So what you're saying is she did a Deus Ex Machina and weakened him.
Kind of.
They're
yeah.
fighting on the airport map from Modern Warfare 2 called Terminal.
It's a good map, to be fair, though.
Yeah, at least
It
imagine
is
they're doing
actually
this
it's one
shit
of the
on
best
Rust.
Call of Duty maps.
Why'd you give me that fucking flashback? I'm so mad. I do have two kind of questions. One, when they were showing the scenes of all the explosions and damage that quote unquote Captain America caused, even though he didn't really, who took those photos? And
Spoderman.
secondly, when Spidey grabs the shield, why is Cap using the one with the grips on it instead of his magnet shield?
Oh.
It's a good question. Continuity.
Well, I mean, they broke
continuity
up.
error confirmed.
Continuity doesn't matter. Confirmed.
Well, actually, you know what it could be? It could be he has different shields, right? One is the OG one, and I'm assuming if him and Iron Man are beefing, he wouldn't let him take the one that he made.
The magnetic one. Yeah, good point,
Actually,
Michael.
I think you're actually right because this shield looks clean. It doesn't have any Panther marks on it.
It's true. But this is before the fight, though. Or in the middle of it.
No one knows where it's at.
Would you say that the
So-
Spidey reveal here, like... do you think that this is before before Rhodey dies?
Yeah.
Well, I would assume
so.
so because first of all, Rhodey is in the shot when
Maybe.
he says under ruse.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Like-
Second
he's
of all,
happy,
Tony
too.
is way too fucking
forgot.
So that part is like the aftermath of that battle, like the Rhodey thing.
Yeah.
Other things that I liked in the
Poor
trailer,
Rhodey.
though, apart from Spider-Man, was the Black Panther and just seeing him like doing stuff. I mean,
Black
he's
Panther's
not
gonna
talking,
own this
though.
fucking movie.
Dude,
He doesn't
I
need
will
to
say-
talk.
he's gonna fuck Bucky with the bike.
Yeah, I will say my closing thoughts on this. One, they're holding off on Giant Man, which I'm okay with. Two, we still have no idea what the hell Baron Zemo is in this movie. Like, I really thought that this would have been like a Baron Zemo heavily influenced trailer.
No.
But nowhere is he in this movie. I swear, they better not pull a Von Strucker with
they
this,
are gonna
with this
do it,
character.
dude.
No, like
I
he's
hope
not in
not.
this trailer. That lets me know for a fact that they don't care about Baron Zemo. They just needed to put a Cap villain in this movie. I am suspecting Zemo is there exclusively for the third act to be, I pulled all the strings, and then he'll get thrown in some vat of acid, the sock will melt on his face, and he'll die. I'll put money on that right now.
The sock will melt on it. Yeah, I'll get you next
And
time,
they'll
Avengers.
just be like, fuck it, there's the socks, now stop crying.
I'm
fuck
telling you
it,
guys, Red
there's
Skull's
the
coming back,
sock.
man.
I'm so salty about Zemo.
All right,
but that's-
thoughts and speculations on the post-credit scenes.
Red Skull coming back, I can guarantee it.
They're gonna go
Cosmic
They're
Skull,
gonna
dude.
go take Spidey to the shawarma spot.
Oh my god,
Spidey-
that would be legendary.
Spidey gets his black suit. sets up for that Venom movie.
Oh my goodness, the shawarma scene. If they rehash that, I swear to God. Oh man. But rehashing with Spider-Man I think would be pretty cool. Alright guys. Well, I think that I was reading the comments there. Oh, I didn't realize you guys were commenting. So anyways, before this turns into a total shit show, we are going to go ahead and leave off here. This has been another episode of the Marvelite Podcast. I am your host, Luke, and I'm joined with Will.
Pip, pip.
Hooray!
Hooray!
And FailWell34.
Hello!
You mean goodbye.
Goodbye!
And DC Luke.
I'm here, guys. Spider-Man to save the day.
And Nicholas.
Dude, Raimi's suit is the best.
Raimi's suit worked for its time. And on that note, we will catch you guys next week.